Hi guys, my name is Tamika Jameson, formerly Newhouse, and I'm the founder of AAMBC. The acronym stands for African Americans on the Move Book Club. Established in 2008 for the sole purpose of amplifying Black stories and those that tell those stories. In 2025, we are prepared to even amplify our events. We also want to host more events year-round, and so we need your help. From book signings to a literary freedom walk, to festivals, to curating book drives. We are wanting to do it all. So please visit the website aambc.org and learn all about us and donate to us today. Thanks.
If you're looking for a secure haven within the literary world, you found the perfect organization. Let's make magic together. Our space is specifically designed for African American authors who are passionate about their writings of films and books. It's a platform to stay informed about industry developments. And on Patreon, we'll share exclusive content, valuable resources, and engaging discussions and masterclasses on various subjects, ranging from film and publishing industry trends to wellness and business tips. So if you're ready to dive into this exciting community, become a member now. Welcome to our literary haven where creativity knows no bounds. Let's make magic together. In a world where creativity meets the digital age, one agency stands out from the rest. Welcome to Delphine Legacy Media. We are a team of passionate experts and creatives dedicated to elevating your brand to new heights.
I learned so much today. It was really inspiring hearing everyone speak about all their different experiences and getting together like authors and screenwriters. And I learned a lot from this.
Their creativity and expertise are second to none. But what sets us apart? We tailor our services to fit your unique needs. Whether you're an author, a business owner, or an artist, our services include interviews, media tours, book tours, and speaking engagements, all designed to put your brand in the spotlight. Are you an artist that seeks to obtain more media, headline your own book tour, or adapt a film? Or perhaps you need media training to best prepare yourself? Whatever it may be, we can manage it. Picture your brand in the limelight. Picture your brand in the limelight. Your vision realized. At Delphine Legacy Media, we're partners in your success. Ready to take your brand to the next level? Contact us today. Delphine Legacy Media, where creativity meets success.
Hey y'all, so welcome to yet another creative wellness, creative workshop. We're not going to focus on wellness tonight, but more so on creativity. And so tonight's topic is character development and progression throughout the story. So a lot of people can really get stuck when it comes to storytelling and not really knowing what they need to do to kind of really keep the story going, to make their characters relatable. And so we're going to dive right into that. So grab your pen, grab your paper, and make sure that you're keeping up with us. So here's today's agenda. Steps for creating character development and progression throughout the story. Create a character development sheet. Develop background for each character. Identify character strengths and weaknesses. Identify characters' nervous habits or imperfections. Identify characters' realistic motives. Create a broad variety of character personalities. And avoid using stereotypical character descriptions. And we're going to dive into all of this, y'all. So let's go into the first segment. So, steps for character development and progression throughout the story. So, when writing the story, the development and progression of the characters are essential to the overall composition of the work as the story plot and setting. Character development is the process in which authors create fully rounded, complex characters that allow readers to relate or to invest time in the character's journey throughout the story. So, in this creative workshop, we will explore the steps for creativity, developing progressing characters from the story's beginning to its climax. We will discuss the importance of building specific casts, um, of the characters for your particular story, how the characters' personalities, perspectives, and values navigate, how they function and relate to each other, and how to provide character arcs throughout the story that will keep the reader engaged and wanting more. So, create a character development sheet. Bet you didn't know anything about that, right? So, a development sheet. What is it? It is a document in which the characters' names, physical, emotional, and personality traits, and often other important identifying factors are listed. This document allows the artist to keep track of the characters, their relationship to other characters, and their overall importance to the storyline and plot. Why is it important to have one though? So having a character development sheet can also assist the author in making any necessary changes to the character development process when progressing the character as a result of time, physical or emotional trauma, or other catalysts for altering the overall appearance, personality, or the mindset of the character throughout the story. So develop a background of each character. Develop a background for each character is important. Here is why. Identify important events of characters' past that has influenced their current behavior, mindset, or actions. Identify any individual that have an impact on the character's development from childhood to present day, such as parents, past lovers, teachers, friends, and foes. And identify the character's main personality type, introvert, extrovert, or ambivert, and how this affects how the character relates to others. Creating a backstory for each character allows the author to identify critical personality, physical, and emotional factors that influence the character's overall development. Identifying sources of influence, such as the parents, friends, foes, past lovers, or teachers, that have impacted how the character sees or interacts in the world, is pertinent for laying the foundation for how the character will progress throughout the story. Knowing whether or not the character has introvert, extrovert, or ambivert tendencies can also be beneficial to how the author develops how the character will function and relate with other characters in the story. In other words, who are you writing about? Who are they? What exactly do they like? What are their hobbies and dislikes? How do they talk, carry themselves? You got to really know who you're talking about. So, what is the character's strengths and weaknesses? You gotta identify that. What are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? How does the character's strengths and weaknesses influence their overall personality, behavior, and actions? So, identifying the character's strengths and weaknesses, kindness versus mean spirited, loving versus hateful, selfless versus selfish, allows the author to fully develop the character's personality complexities that have an impactful effect on the way the character is depicted in the story. Identifying the strengths and the weaknesses of a character can also be cohesive to the direction for which the story progresses from chapter to chapter. The character's strengths and weaknesses can be changed as the character evolves within the story to indicate character progression from good to bad and vice versa. Now, characters' nervous habits are imperfections. Let's tap into that. So, what visible nervous habits does a character display that is perceptible to others? What personality or physical imperfection is unique to specific characters? What bad habits or personality flaws can be seen as relatable traits to readers? So think about that. What are some things that your character has that can be relatable, that they can actually see and feel and understand? No character is perfect. You definitely don't want a perfect one because that's boring, and we don't want to write boring stories. So, in order for the character of a story to attract and maintain the attention of readers in the story, they must have realistic flaws and imperfections that make them relatable to the audience. Even superheroes have something that make them fallible and often to failure. And I mean, open to failure. So, developing a perceivable or imperceivable character imperfection allows the author to write characters that the readers can view in a humanistic perspective, equipped with all the flaws and erroneous behaviors have and habits shared by many. You want your characters to relate to them. You want them to like them, hate them. You want them to feel something when it comes to your characters, where they hate your character or they dislike your character. Both emotions will keep your reader wanting to read. If your character is boring, they're going to put it down. If your character is not relatable, they're not going to care. And then they're going to put the book down. So understand that your character definitely needs to connect with your readers. So, what are some realistic motives that your characters can identify with? So, let's identify what characters want or they feel. Why the character desires a certain want, whether it's good or bad, and why the character has those specific feelings about their desired want, whether they're good or bad. So, providing the characters with realistic motives keeps the reader engaged throughout the story. If the character's motives seem unbelievable or irrelevant to the story, readers may lose interest in the story and question the story's progression due to lack of character motive. Sensible motives with explanatory reasons for doing or feeling a specific way draws the reader to delve deeper into the character's roles and actions throughout the story. Now, without clear or relevant motives, the character's behaviors and actions can end up muddling the overall storyline, resulting in a reader's disengagement and loss of interest. What I just said. If there's no reason, there's no clear intention, or if you just throwing something in there and they don't really connect with the story at all, they're going to lose interest and they're going to put the book down. So create a variety of character personalities. So identify protagonists of the story, identify your antagonists of the story, identify secondary or foil characters, and create a unique voice for each character. So it's imperative to create a broad variety of characters in different range of their personalities. You don't want to be writing about a group of friends and they all the same. Like, come on, they need to be different. Now, when creating the protagonist and antagonist characters, they should be differentiating. They should have different features, personality traits and flaws, and distinctive mannerisms that give each character their uniqueness in the story. So, secondary and foil characters should also be developed with different. Look, whoever put this word in my workbook, differentiating personality traits, appearances, and mannerisms that identifies and flourishes their characters' roles within the story. So each character must also have its own voice in the story to depict how they perceive or relate to the overall storyline and progression. They may require the author to give specific characters distinctive accents or linguistic cues that are found in a particular region of the world to set the character apart from each other. So where your character from? You know, how do they talk? They talk slow, loud. Are they soft spoken? Do they talk fast? Do they catch attitudes quick? You know, they passive aggressive. Like these are real people ultimately that you're writing about. So again, know who it is that you're writing about. Who are you writing about, and why? Definitely need to know your whys. And stereotypical character descriptions. Now, this is how you need to avoid this. So let's research ways to describe characters without relying on particular stereotypes to identify specific characteristic markers. So refrain from offensive stereotypes as well. This may disinterest the reader, but be mindful of the targeted audience when stereotyping a character. So sometimes it may be necessary to use popular stereotypical descriptions to illustrate a character's appearance, demeanor, or actions in the story. However, the author must be careful because specific stereotypes are offensive to others and may cause the reader to lose interest in the story. So researching alternative yet accessible ways to describe a character without typical stereotypes that may offend or discriminate against a particular community is the best way for the author to progress in the process of character development. So this would ensure the author has created a complex character with specific characteristics that identify them or their community without offensive descriptions that arcs towards discrimination or judgmental views. So it's very, very important, to really understand who your audience is. You don't want to use um, slang terms when it comes to describing certain individuals. You want to be mindful about different demographics, sexualities, disabilities, and cultures as well. So at the end of the day, I want to go back through all of these steps to make sure that you absolutely understand the importance of every step that we mentioned, right? So we talked about making sure that your characters are developed and then that there's progression throughout the story. So we stated to develop a character development sheet first. We explain why it's important to have a character development sheet, and this is describing their physical appearance, if they have emotional trauma, where they're from, what they look like, personalities, what their mindset is like, things like that. Then you want to develop a background for your character. What is their behavior? What is their mindset? What is their past? Will their parents or friends, past lovers, any of them be relatable? Are they introvert, extrovert, ambivert? Um, like what is their background? What is the root of who they are? Create a backstory of them in this character development sheet as well. Like a fake bio, who were they? What world are they from? Like really connect and get to know them. Then also know what their strengths and weaknesses are. What is their overall personality and behavioral actions? How will they react when they're afraid? Are they kind? Are they mean spirited? Are they loving? Are they hateful? Really understand who they are in the core. And what are their habits? What do they display? What does their mannerism look like? Have an understanding of that. Like, what is their style as well? And then realistic motives. You want your characters to have a reason to why they're pursuing this, why they're going after this, why they react like this way. So it needs to be realistic, and you want your readers to really connect with your characters as well. So it needs to be relevant too, and very, very clear, and it needs to go with the storyline. There's different ways to develop your character's personality. And when you have a group or different types of characters in your story, they all need to be different. So you have your main characters, your protagonist, your antagonist, then you have your secondary and your full characters. All these characters need to be unique. Some is not as important than others, but you need to understand exactly who everyone is. And then avoid stereotypical characteristics. You don't want to say, oh, she was dark and tall. He was loud and wide. Like really go into details of who these people are and make sure that you are being conscious of the types of slang and descriptions that you're using when it comes to people's cultures, um, their backgrounds, their race, their sexualities, and things like that. So if you are needing help with actually putting together your characters, even outlining your story Bible, you can always reach out to us directly. You can go to our website, weareaambc.org. You can contact us to that website. We work with writers all of the time where we help you guys outline your stories. Of course, you guys are part of our community. So you can always jump in there and contact us and send us direct messages inside of our Patreon community. And then, of course, remember, we are actively taking submissions for our I Am Creative grant. So make sure that you also submit yourself for that. And this has been a very informative workshop. We will be back yet again next week as we step into some more informative workshops for you guys. This has been super duper, and I can't wait to come back and give you guys some more information. So again, if you have questions, make sure you hit us up.
you are representing everybody that is you. I represent being able to find the light at the end of the tunnel.
You gotta really be in it and really enjoy it and really want it.
And I feel like if you come into it like that day one, man, you unstoppable.
That shows people it's possible, my people, that it's possible.
And that is so necessary in a world of misinformation. This is a legacy effort.